Hey guys, welcome to the Bullwhip tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to build from scratch this Bullwhip right here. So I hope you learned something. Here we go. The tool list, I am going to go through the tools that you need to make this Bullwhip right now. And it cracks like a champ, I will tell you that right now. If you guys follow the tutorial all the way, I actually have a counterweight back here, 2 nipples. One is sleeved inside the other one. And when you go to crack this thing, I'll tell you what, it wants to go. So, an excellent Bullwhip overall. Let's go through that tool list. So we're going to need a belt sander, an angle grinder, hearing protection, and safety glasses, a vise, a knife, a hammer. You will need BBs, a pair of pliers, T70 bonded nylon thread, a hacksaw, hockey tape, a ruler, Gorilla super glue, some scissors, neoprene rubber. You can pick this up at Home Depot. A pair of forceps, a screwdriver. This one's modified to make knots. Piece of 2mm leather. Another knife. A lighter. Waxed artificial sinew. A pair of dikes or wire snips, a tape measure, a couple of razor blades, a micro Permalock needle. This one's stainless steel. That way if the thread breaks off, I can always heat it up and melt it out. A nail. Another knife? A needle, 5/8" brad nails, 200 to 250 feet of 550 paracord, 2 colors, a spool of micro paracord. Choose the color you desire. At least 60 feet of micro paracord. By Atwood Rope Manufacturing. A pen or marker, or both. Optional. nylon lacing tape, a drill, optional, a piece of Kydex .080, Zeus, a reflector, not for the reasons you think. Actually, we're going to use that. This is optional. This 1/4" fiberglass rod on the reflector. A piece of carbon fiber plate. This one's double-sided, and it is about 1/16 of an inch thick. Also optional, 2.5 inch, 3/4 inch nipple, plus you'll need a 1/2 inch nipple as well to slip inside this one for our counterweight. Optional, Dyneema heavy duty thread, and of course another knife. No, I'm just kidding. We could probably get away with one. Alright, it's been a long time. Let's see here, guys. Since I've made a video. Yeah. Alright. Quick tip. Aim for the nerve stem. Put it down for good. Alright guys, so I've been at our house for our new place for about 1.5 years now. And I figured I'd make a tutorial for you guys once again. Although this one is going to be very light, so if you guys like the content, want to subscribe, like, comment. All right. Anyways, so I thought it would originally started with a 1/4 inch steel rod. Then I started thinking, I found this 3/16 inch, not this one, there's one over there, 3/16 inch fiberglass rod. And I was like, well, do they sell them at Home Depot? And I walked out to the fence and I found that this was like 1/4 inch, which is exactly what I wanted to start with. So we're going to start with this as our handle. Our base handle, and it has to be 1/4 inch because that 3/16 inch was just a little too bendy. And you can see here's a 3/16, and it might just be a little too much flex, but it might be interesting. I might do something with it later on. So let's see here. Other than that, we found this, so I'm sure you guys can pick one of these up. One of these reflectors that go on the ground. Ours don't, because ours ground's way too rocky, so I just set them in the fence line. But we'll start with that. I've already trimmed the end off. You can use a hacksaw, or you can use a angle grinder, which is what I use for this. So we're gonna go with 12.5 to start. And that should be just enough flex without actually having too much to affect our whip. So we got our rod right in the back of the truck. Where was my mark at? It was on the other side. Is it 12.5? No, it might have been in the first mark. The 12.5 inches. I'm just kind of, right now we don't know what kind of whip you're building, so we're going to learn as we go, but I've done this enough to where usually we'll have something that's actually substantial, or actually worthwhile. So this may be the beginning of the video, but by the end you'll have a intro. Cuts pretty good with the angle grinder. I don't want to get a bunch of fiberglass fibers flaring out and shit, so that's why I chose that instead of a hacksaw. But there's our handle start, and we are going to need counterweights. So how bendy is that? It's not too bad. It's got flex, and it's light, which is exactly what I want. So hearing protection, safety glasses. Don't forget. I know I didn't do it on the first angle grinder, but that was so quick. But still, make sure you protect your eyes and your ears. All right, to the belt sander now. This is probably gonna be loud. So you will need a hacksaw or an angle grinder for the first part to get it down to the size we need. Belt sander, I do not know how this is gonna have. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen here, but here we go. Got our tip formed, and we are ready to go inside and... Alright, so grab your Gorilla Glue. I have a plan. This is good glue. So we have our rod here, and I didn't really scratch it all up, but we are going to do this. I have a rag or a paper towel. You might rip off, and we might have to tear some pieces off, but I'm going to secure this fiberglass with this glue right now. I don't know what to expect from this stuff, so I'm just going to rub that in there like that, let that in dry, and then we'll do our end. That's actually, I know fiberglass is long pieces, and we don't want that shit tearing our whip up from the core or the handle falling apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that glue right there, and we're going to rub that all around where we shaped it. Okay, kind of like a securing that fiberglass so it doesn't fall apart as fast. I'm just guessing at this point, but that should work. So we'll let that dry. Doesn't take long for this glue to dry, so. All right, bust out your tape measure. And let's measure 5 feet for our core. I changed my mind. Yeah, no, wait, 5 feet's good. And get our blade or knife, scissors, anything. Well, either way. Got that. get some nylon thread. Let's see what we got here. T70 will work. T70 bonded nylon thread, as requested. So you're going to want to measure. Let's do 7 inches. No. 8 inches in on our cork, where we're going to load the BBs in. And right there is where we're going to tie a knot with our thread. So let's do that now. Okay, we have a guest, as you can see. Alright, so I went through it once. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go back around. Just tie a knot, please. Doesn't have to be perfect. Wrap around once, twice, and then back through. To the spot where we entered in. See if that looks good. Snug that down real tight. This is our stopper for the BBs. So let's do a couple ties. Let's probably just do 2. It might be hard to see, but all you're basically doing is just tying a stopper. Make sure you go through the paracord so it's actually secure and stops. So, all right, let's trim that off. That's about 4 foot of the nylon to tie it off, so lots of extra here. Alright, so we're going to load that up with BBs now. Take your BB, start it. And what I like to do is take the micro paracord permalock needle and kind of use that for a little pusher. And we're going to load this in about 5 to 6 inches of BBs. So I do that, put one at a time, and they just go right in. This 550 paracord, this paracord's made by Paracord Planet, so we are not using any other paracords other than 550 to make this simple for you guys and easy. And our overlay will be 550 with nano or micro paracord highlights is what I'm thinking at this point. Just keep packing those in. So it will get complicated on the overlay, but not too bad. Get 5 inches of that. So continue down and you work those down with your fingernail right to the stopper right there. So continue to do that. 5 inches of BBs right there, approximately. Usually takes about 4 to I think it's, let's see, 5. I think it's 5 BBs per inch. About 6 almost, yeah. So there we go, and we're attaching this to the rod now. Now let's take a look here, see if this fits good, because then everybody's going to be doing the same. So we're about a 1/4 inch away, which is good. So what we need to do with this rod now is that I forgot to put a notch in it, so it actually grabs onto this rod and doesn't just slide right off. So we'll notch that with a hacksaw right now. All right, guys. I got nothing to say. Okay, so we have our rod in the vise. Right there. What we're going to do, we're probably going to go about 3/4 of an inch up on the rod, and we're just going to dig into it a little bit. Just real lightly. And then about a 1/2 inch mark. Shit's like sawdust. Maybe we'll do a 1 inch mark too. Let's do that too. Come on. And then we're going to flip it over, do the same thing the other side. I don't want to do too much because this is fiberglass, so you can see right there, see our notches? Just a little bit. So our paracord has something to grab onto. Alright? Take our core with our 5 inches of BBs. Take that 550 paracord, and it should slide over that. That's about 1/8 of an inch. What I grounded it down to. Let's take a look. Yeah, about 1/8. Take that, slide over it. We're test fitting it at this point. And now you can see we need to trim it down. It looks like about 1/4 inch to make this sleeve over it all the way. Okay, so we're test fitting again. See if this actually goes all the way up. And that should be good. Something like that. Now we could take some glue right now and put it in those grooves. So when we slide it on, but you gotta do it quick. And that's what the pliers are for. So we got that. We'll take some glue, put on the tip, and slide as fast as we can. Because you know this glue is going to dry quick. Alright, so something like that. Make sure our BBs are set. Take this, slide it quick, and take your pliers and then kind of twist it on. Pushing towards my hand. Okay, it's not gonna be pretty. That should be good. It feels alright. Good. That's not necessarily set, so we're going to take some, put this in the vise. We'll take some thread, and we'll wrap it a couple times. See if we can get, I think. So what we're doing with this nylon thread, we're reinforcing this paracord onto the handle rod, which happens to be fiberglass this time around. Something I always wanted to try. Still figuring out what we're going to do for the counterweight at the back end of the whip, where the handle is, because we're definitely going to need some weight. But we'll figure it out as we go. You guys are already know by now. So that should be pretty good. Alright, so wrap that up. Not really science to this either, just kind of double reinforcing. The glue I don't really expect to be the strong part to hold it, but trim that. Let's tie this knot off. This is a great video, huh? There we go. Something like that. We might have to run manual. Okay, and that appears to be good. BBs have a little bit of play, but that's not going to be a big deal. made many whips that were loose and ended up tightening up anyway, so. Next step would be to get your hockey tape out. Alright guys. Just kidding. Okay. Anyways, I got the music real low in the background, so I'm get copyrighted. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to wrap this with hockey tape. I prefer Howie's. Just like that. Alright, so scissors or a knife will work. I want to make this video 900 freaking hours long. So let's get the moving here, okay? Take your hockey tape, angle it up on this rod. I usually wrap from the bottom up, but we're going to do it like this, make it a little easier for you guys. Not everybody's going to have hockey tape, so you probably have to buy this. I'm trying to make a beginner video. Something real fun for you guys. All you paracord lovers out there. What I'm doing is I'm, let's see if you can see that. It's kind of hard to see. I'm doing about half. Splitting it, so it's almost like a double layer. So as I go down, it's kind of like, just do the candy cane thing. How it spirals around. Okay? And you want to keep doing that all the way down this handle, because this is fiberglass. If you guys chose to do fiberglass, I'm not saying that's a must. This is just experimental on my part, but if you guys want to. But you could use a 1/4 inch steel rod and build the same thing. Your handle will just be that much heavier. So continue down. I want you to go past, once we get down to here, to our stopper. Okay? Continue doing that. Alright, so once you get down to the end here, cut that. Alright, once you get down towards the end here, I've been wrapping this the whole time. I put it in the vise after it became BBs. We're going to hit our 5-inch mark right here. Just let those strands of nylon dangle and wrap them up. We're going to go past it. We're going to go past that for about 8 inches. So continue on that. It's going to be kind of hard. What I like to do is just do this and then cut my strand. Pull about, I don't know, 12 inches extra, because it's going to be easier this way. And just wrap it like that, loosely. Just another way to encourage our taper down the whip. And try to keep your angle. It's going to get clumpy, but that doesn't really matter at this point. Continue doing that until you run out. Alright, now we need our artificial sinew. I just have to pick everything that's black, don't I? Even though we don't see it. Here we go. So we got our artificial sinew. We're going to start to bind this so it has a little bit more rigidity. So it becomes a little stiffer, this transition. So we're going to do this. I'm looking about to fall on the vase here. Hold on. There we go. Right above where our paracord slipped on. Start right there. And we're just going to do a nice crisscross pattern. And make sure you pull it tight. Not too tight off the first, not real tight off the bat, so we're gonna go back over it again, so. And we're gonna go down for, I'm gonna say, we got a 6-foot whip right here, ish. Let's see. I'd say go down for about 3 inches into the BBs. So probably about 4 total wrapped. All right, so we made it there. We have our 4 inches of wrapped artificial sinew. Make sure you get the wax kind. We're gonna go back up, single pass all the way to the top. Everybody should be familiar. If you're new, then you're learning something. Pretty typical of a lot of the whip makers. Okay, so we made it back to the top. I wrapped that pretty tight, guys. You can see it's starting to hold back now. We're gonna go back down, single pass. Same thing. Just going around the whip. I'm going fairly tight. We're going to do something different here coming up. Really got a fun inspiration for this whip. You guys will know by now. Of course you will. Okay, keep going down. We're almost there. Start to loosen up. Not as tight. Just kind of swirling around now. All right, now we've gone off where we went the double pass on it. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna crisscross it again, but we're not pulling this hard at this point. We're just lightly securing those BBs so they don't shift around. And just continue on doing that for, let's see, our total length. Let's take a look. From where we started. Then we go to 9 inches long. Going in lightly. Crisscrossing all the way. Continue on doing that until you hit 9 inches. So we've hit the 9-inch mark. Now we're going to do single for about 2. And it looks pretty good. Alright, stop there. And this is, I'm not pulling it all this far out. Just kind of wrapping it around there. Go back up. Single pass. And once we hit that double, you can start tugging a little bit. A little more tension. Trying to go in between the grooves. And once we get to that spot where it's doubled up, we're going to do some hard tugging on that one. I'm getting tighter and tighter as I go towards the tip of the handle here. Now it's going to be tight. Now we can start pulling on it. And I'm going to have to adjust my whip. There we go. Almost to the top. Tugging hard. Make sure you tug hard, or else your transition will just break. And now we're back to the top. once we get up to that spot where the paracord is, it's still kind of marked, but that'll disappear as we put bellies and bellies on. So we're back to the top. Take this, snip, and all you do is loop that over because it's waxed. Pull tight. You can snip that off. Don't cut it too short. I don't usually do that. Keep about a 1 inch on there, and then just flatten it down. Now what we're going to do, we're going to roll this bad boy out. And that is our core. Hey guys, Justin here. We're going to be doing a tutorial today in 102 degrees. It is pretty hot out though. Yeah, it's 102. Alright, so we're out in the kitchen. And we're going to be rolling this bad boy out. So we don't have to worry about that paracord down there. Right up here, take a cutting board or a 2x6, 2x4, anything that's hard that can roll this out. Press hard. Doesn't take much for the core, guys. That should kind of mold everything out so it's getting a little bit of taper. We got a little bubble there, but that's not going to be a major issue. You can see it's already starting to take form. Whoa. I hope this works, guys. Oh, it's starting to get whippy. Alright, back to the vise. Actually, we're going to start the first belly right now.